Europeanism was the ruling ideology, a very deep belief that everything of the European way was exceedingly superior to anything New Zealand had to offer, whether in people, land or animals. Pākehā commonly believed that Māori were a dying race, and so too were the animals of Aotearoa, inevitably to be replaced by European species. Even bird lover Walter Buller shared this belief. The assumption of impending doom sent him into preservation mode, thinking that for posterity's sake, Huia were better remembered in museums. The heart aches to read some of his accounts with conservational hindsight. Whilst we were looking at and admiring this little picture of bird life, a pair of huias, without uttering a sound, appeared in a tree overhead, and as they were caressing each other with their beautiful bills, a charge of number 6 brought both to the ground together. The incident was rather touching, and I felt almost glad that the shot was not mine, although by no means loath to appropriate the two fine specimens. Buller was to be involved in selling specimens of huia to museums around the world. While it is true that Europeans hunted the huia for collectors in European markets, Māori also culled the bird in droves for their sacred feathers. Buller came across a party of 11 Māori who had skinned 646 huia in one expedition between the Manawatu Gorge and Akito. However, with this in mind, Māori chiefs from Manawatu and the Wairarapa around the 1890s exercised kaitiaki, stewardship, instituting a rāhui, ban restriction, on the Tararua Ranges in an attempt to protect the bird. Forests and fashion. The hunting of the huia was accentuated with an even greater attack, an ecological imbalance caused by deforestation. The European mindset was to acquire land and clear any obstacles for farming. This required erasing the ancient forest, turning it into nice pasture land. The natural habitat of the huia disappeared rapidly. You see, only the ancient forests provided the necessary food for the huia. Huhu grubs only lived in old rotten wooden forests. Second-generation forests were far too young, the wood too strong for the huia to pick through, and the huhu grubs didn't live there anyway. If this wasn't enough, the introduction of farmland brought with it the rabbit, then the weasel, stoat and ferret. Like a notorious gang, they all headed for the hills, foreign predators who could easily catch our friendly huia. The depressing death blow, however, came in 1901 when the Duke and Duchess of York visited New Zealand. Hosted in Rotorua by Te Aroa tribe, a kuia, elderly woman, honouring the royal guests, generously took a huia feather and gave it to the Duke, placing it in his bowler hat. This kind gesture was enthusiastically reported, with stories and photos put into circulation around New Zealand and throughout England. Suddenly, the huia became a fashion statement, envied abroad. Doomed by imbalanced farming and in hot demand as a fashion accessory, the huia had little chance against insatiable feather hunting and the desire for a quick buck in a fashionista market. It was a recipe for extinction. The natural habitat decreased. Predators were introduced, and culling in the name of science and fashion expanded, sealing the huia's fate. It only took 6 years to cull the call of the huia, with the last official sighting of the bird on December 28, 1907. It has not been seen alive since.